Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Talk Zone. I'm flabbergasted. I have an amazing guest for you guys today. He's gonna be like, you're full of shit when I say this, but probably one of the biggest fucking comics in Louisville.
Oh, no.
Right now.
I would never be here. Is that the case? Oh, fuck, Richard. Thank you, but no, thank you. I'm happy to be here, dude. Congratulations. You got a really good thing going. We're in this new studio right now, and it's awesome, dude. This is a sweet setup he's got right here.
I really got lucky, man.
No, you did, man. I don't know if it's luck or maybe I don't know you too well. You might be a genius or something, but
yeah, I just fuck around. It all just works out.
Yeah,
I'm like
congratulations. This is cool, man. You got a real professional vibe to you as well in terms of like the media aspect of this.
Okay,
like that intro was cool, man. It was that, oh my gosh, you got people in right there. People are listening now. You got them hooked.
They're like, who the fuck is this guy here?
Yeah. I'm Corey Miller. I don't think you said my name.
I didn't. I was like, oh my God, I gotta.
Corey Miller, man. I'm happy to be here with Adam Acree.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for being here.
I know this is a long time in the making. We were going to do this, but then we both got hungover, and we kind of
we were going to do this like a month ago, and I was like, hey man, I drank too much the night before.
Dude, that same night, one of my buddies the night before, that Saturday night, he was going to the military, so we all went to.
Oh shit! Okay.
We all went out to celebrate before he went off, and then the bar shut down, and we're like, hey, you guys want to go to the casino? We're like, all right, let's keep this night going.
So it's like 3 in the morning. Like,
about 3 in the morning. It's
okay.
like, let's go win some money. Let's go make some good investments here.
Yeah.
Fix what we just did. But so I drive up there with a friend of mine, and we both get up there, and there was like 12 of us at the bar. Nobody's at the casino. So I start a group chat. I'm like, where you guys at? And they're like, yeah, we're just heading home. So it's just 2 of us up there. Me and my friend.
Are you close with that guy at least? Like, are you guys like good buds or?
Not really. It's like one of my buddy's girlfriend's older brother. So
okay.
No, I hadn't seen him in probably 6-7 years before that, truthfully. Yeah. But they said, hey, we're getting drunk for a good cause and the troops, and I like everything.
Yeah,
right?
support the troops.
Yeah, but then we get to the casino. It's like 4 in the morning. Nobody else is there, so we're just playing. It's like just some depressing blackjack. Lose about $40, and we go to leave, and she fucking. Nice lady, but she locked her keys in the car.
Oh no!
And
wait, who is this?
Huh?
Who left the keys in the car?
I won't say. I won't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I told you not to talk about. No,
a lady. A lady associate.
Good friend of mine. Nice lady.
Yeah.
But she left her keys she locked her keys in the car.
Oh,
so she tried calling AAA. They're like, we're not gonna be there till 9 in the morning.
What?
So we're like, fuck. So we just go get an Uber. And we'd have to go back to my car, then I take her back to her house, and then I drive back to mine. So it's like, and the whole time, I'm like, fuck, I do this fucking podcast at noon. I'm going to be all fucking hungover and fucked up and shit. And then you texted me, and then you were like, you said, what do you say, personal you said some kind of, you didn't give me a reason or something. I thought something went wrong. I mean, I was still happy, but.
Oh, yeah, because I want to treat you with the utmost level of professional respect. So I'm like, I can't tell him I'm wasted. So I'm like, yeah, it's like I'm canceling like a meeting with with like an actual like client. I'm like, unfortunately, due to unforeseen personal circumstances, we will have to reschedule the meeting. And
I really thought something went wrong. I was like, I hope he's all right.
I'm trying to remember how long ago was that, because I don't get drunk that often. I mean, I really don't drink that much.
I think you said it was a wedding. You went to a wedding.
Oh,
with your wife.
Yeah.
You and your wife.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I was at a wedding. Yeah, I was at a wedding, and then we were drinking and then having a good time there, and then the wedding was like within walking distance of our house, and so we were like, we can just keep the party going. So we went home, and then we we just fucking polished off a bottle of bourbon, and then we just like, that was a heavy night. Actually, we were talking about the rest of our lives together, and it was
it's one of those. I'm so thankful for.
Yeah,
because weddings bring that out in people, I think.
Yeah, they do.
I think. Was it a close friend that got married, a family, or?
It was it was a coworker.
Okay.
And 2 people that I care, very much about, and who've been, great actually like great role models for me in my career as well. So, but yeah, so me and my girl, we're seeing them. We're being like, oh fuck, what does this mean for our lives? We're 35. We're still, kind of seeing where things are going. And
how long have you guys been Allison, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
How long you guys been going at it?
We've been together for just over 4 years now.
All right, congratulations. Man.
Thank you, man. We met when we were 30. We met during the pandemic.
Okay.
COVID relationship.
There you go.
Did
you meet online? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how long until you met in person from when you met her online?
I would say probably a couple weeks, probably.
Okay. That's not too bad. Yeah.
It was a lot of like Zoom calls and and just chit chatting for a couple hours before we're like, we got to make this happen.
Yeah.
And then I think on the third date, we both got COVID. And they're like,
that's romantic. That's what's it got? Cameron Crowe. That's a good movie right there.
So we're basically like in lockdown together.
Yeah.
Love after lockdown.
There you go.
Like that show, but not prison. It's just having COVID.
Oh, I never saw that.
You ever heard Love After Lockup?
No, I missed that one. Is that?
It's where they
TLC kind of thing. Or?
Yeah, it's where I think it's like they follow these couples and one of them is in prison and they're still somehow making it work.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of drama associated with that,
Was that an older kind of? I'm young. I don't remember.
I think it's still on. I don't know. I don't really watch it either. I just hear a lot about
I
it.
missed that one. I don't got cable.
I feel like you're probably not much of a TV guy, really. I feel like you're always out here.
I love TV. I love. I'm a nerd about it, like the late night talk shows and the old sitcoms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love like media, man. I love like it's all fascinating to me. Like, the Hollywood and all that. It's breaking my heart because all the people are getting exposed for being perverts and kind of weirdos and stuff. But you grow up watching this stuff and it's like. I think it's maybe I don't get too serious, but maybe as a distraught kid, you kind of use it as an escape,
Yeah.
You see these movies and these comedy shows, and you turn on. I'm super young, so it's like I watched Jimmy Fallon as a kid.
Okay.
And even he was like great. I know you're to someone your age.
It's like, dude, I was in college when he started doing shit.
It's great. I was 2000. I was 8 years old when he came on.
Hell yeah, dude.
But. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it was just like kind of weird. It was kind of different to me because nobody else I knew really.
So were you watching him on the Tonight Show as a kid?
Yeah. I remember in high school, I would stay up late on when snow days and shit to see, and he would be on, and it really was like at the time it was like this is awesome. Like I want to be a part of this.
I get it, dude. I'm right there with you. Like I grew up. We were just talking about a fellow comedian that we both know, Brett Soule. And he used to write for Jay Leno, and I grew up watching Jay, watching him do like Monica Lewinsky jokes and like, and looking at the fucking guitarist who like, Jay, you crazy. and then graduating to Conan,
right.
And be like, oh my God, this is like the best shit.
But that type of media, it's such a lost art, and I think it's so cool because now it's kind of frowned upon almost. Because when you talk to other comedians about the Tonight Show don't matter, it's all about the podcast. This is cool, but it sucks. And but no, I just to me it's like. I like the grandeur of it all, and it's just like they come. Here's Jimmy Fallon. There's 500 people clapping for him.
Yeah,
he's telling these jokes, and everybody's laughing. And
he's got the Roots playing.
Yeah, and it's just he's got the suit on. He's snapping and pointing at people. And
Questlove's
over there.
There's something that podcasts don't have that those shows have, and it really is just that concept of showmanship.
Right. And I think but I think again. With everybody getting kind of outed as weirdos and stuff, it's like that showmanship. You go back and you watch like a Bill Cosby stand-up special. It's like it don't hit the same because now you know what's behind the curtain. So I think now this kind of raw, sitting here talking for hours on end, you really get to know people, and I think that's for a good reason, probably more valuable.
Yeah, I think so
in today's media landscape.
Yeah, because it's like that's more time out there in front of people, and that's more opportunities to show them who you really are.
Exactly.
And so I think there is some authenticity that is, I guess, required to be successful in that space.
Nowadays, I think so.
Yeah.
And especially because you go to the talk shows, it's so, nowadays, I don't want to shit on them because I still like them and I still watch them, but they're so overproduced to the point where the hosts, they obviously know everything they're going to talk about. The celebrities come in, they say, I want to talk about my movie, my trip to Guatemala, and then my 12 adopted trans black children, and then we're just gonna talk about that, and then they'll have a couple jokes written out. The bridals will write them a joke. It's all set up and kind of fabricated.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe
back
this
then, is just we're like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about. Honestly.
Exactly. He asked me beforehand, like, anything you don't want to talk about. And outside of the allegations, then
you told me not to bring up your illegitimate children.
Right. From Guam.
Yeah.
This is you have a lot of fun over there. The laws are different. It's they're public officials.
They'll let you do anything.
Exactly.
Over there for
in Guam,
money.
dude.
Yeah.
It's just so fun to say Guam. You got 4 letters in the name. They didn't even take that much time.
Is that a fruit or what is that?
I don't know. Like a papaya. It's all the same shit.
We're over here doing Seinfeld. What's the deal with Guam?
Guam. Nobody's ever been there, but they always talk about it.
Let me ask you this. So we were talking about like comedians and hearing about the shit, right? And then how that affects our perception of them and their act. I can kind of relate to that because I went to is 2019. I'm really gonna admit some shit here. Not really though. I went to see Louis C.K. After the canceling,
right.
After everything came out about what he was doing, and I went there thinking like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Louis is a man. He's the best in the world.
Yeah.
And he is.
I'm gonna clip that. Just that soundbite. Like, doesn't matter. Louis C.K. is amazing.
I love him still. What? And and I have to be honest. As I was watching, I was like, I can't get it out of my head.
Well, I think about it. What Louis did that was so great after that is that he came out and talked about it. Kind of, I don't know. I never seen him live, but I listened to his albums.
Yeah,
and he comes out and he talks about it.
Does he?
And it seems sincerely. I think was his first album that came out after that.
Yeah,
and he just comes out. It was probably 2 or 3 years since it happened, and he was just like, okay, how was the last 3 or 4 years for you guys, huh? Anybody else getting global amounts of trouble? And it's like, I think when you address it, it eases the tension. I think that's why celebrities have such a hard time. Like Jay-Z, these allegations come out against him.
Yeah, do you know what I've heard that there have been some. I don't know what they were.
Apparently at a VMA after party.
Okay.
In 2000, Jane Doe, we don't know her name or who she is, but she says that she was 13 at the time and Jay-Z sexually assaulted her.
Jesus.
He's denied the allegations.
Yeah.
I'll get the legal note in there for you.
Okay.
I don't want him coming after us, I
don't want anybody coming after us.
Exactly.
We're just saying what was happening.
But I truly think. I mean, look, if he really is innocent, like he says he is, all he's got to do, you go on Jimmy Kimmel tomorrow, you make a couple jokes about it, and I think it goes away if you just come out and you talk about it. And I think if you're honest with it and you really have nothing to hide, which I think, I mean, my money's on guilty, if you ask me. We're just gonna.
You think so?
I mean, him and R. Kelly shot the Fiesta music video on Epstein Island.
Oh, is that right?
Little St. James.
Oh, shit.
And I think with all this shit coming out with Diddy, and then you like this guy's ride or die for the last however many years.
Yeah. And
he's such a private guy, Jay-Z is, and I don't know. It's like I don't want it to be true.
It's it's so. I think one of the reasons why these stories are so sensational is because it's heinous shit, right, and it's shit done by people, allegedly by people who are like, they're
heroes in a lot of circles. Jay-Z is like, you can't disrespect him with a lot of people. He's one of the greatest rappers ever. Media mogul. I think he was the first ever. Either him or Kanye were the first ever African American billionaires in America. So,
and that means something.
He's a cultural icon by all means.
Yeah.
So for that, it's like not only do you not want to believe it, but it's probably it's tough to hear. Yeah, it's tough to hear, and it's also like these guys are so far removed from just everyday people that it's like there's two things going on. There's one, it's like their lives are so different from us. It's like there's no way of really knowing what the hell's happening over there. They're so disconnected from us that all we have to go off of is just hearsay and rumors, and nobody actually knows
anything really,
Right.
other than just the shit that we talk about and the shit that that we can present in court, and people just have to decide on their own if they believe in it or not, and then there's also this other aspect of just the fact that because they're on this whole other plane of existence, it's like, what else? I mean, you kind of believe it a little bit because you're like, well, what else are they going to do? They're probably bored as hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you got that much money and power, it's like you might need something a little crazy to get going. I don't know.
That's what like what kind of person?
Not that it I think it was bad. If it, I think
of course it would.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. You're kind of. I don't know. You sounded like kind of offended. I mean, like, hey, what else is he gonna do? He's got all his money and shit. What the? He's got all his money. He's rich. Put out 14.
What would you do?
Yeah, he put out 14 albums. He's probably bored.
Yeah, he should just do what Kanye does and just put out another killer album, and they're just like, wow, we can't say shit, man.
That's it. Yeah, that's all you can do.
It's gotta keep
at that point,
killing it.
Dude, Bill Cosby filmed a special for Netflix like a month before all the allegations came out. They never put it out, and it was like 2014. It was called 77.
Whoa!
And he shot it and everything. He was 77 years old at the time, and he shot it. And there's nowhere to find it. They deleted it. Obviously, it's like there's no way of seeing it. But
he doesn't have a copy of it.
Maybe. I doubt he's gonna put it out. I'm sure his lawyers. Guy's like 88 at this point. He's in the late 80s. I'm sure now that he's free, I doubt he's gonna try to revive his name. I'm sure just chill out.
I'm still here.
You had a good run.
Yeah,
it was good.
Absolutely.
He denies the allegations too, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But him,
he was convicted though and went to jail. So maybe we don't have to say that.
Yeah. We could probably say he did it. I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's another wrinkle in the whole kit and caboodle there too. It's like people are so distrustful of the system these days. It's like they'll be like, "Yeah, I was convicted, but like by who though?"
Right.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Well, at some point we have to decide that we're going to have some sort of institutional
you take it to the court of law, and then if they find it credible or not,
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting into a dangerous territory here.
I tell you what.
How long have we been doing this? This is a heavy topic for 15 minutes in.
I knew Cosby was guilty just based on like what all the other comedians used to say about him. Like Eddie Murphy used to, like, I think it was, I don't know if it was Raw or Delirious, but he would just roast Cosby for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like clearly these other guys all hated him.
And that's another thing with the showmanship thing I was talking about. Like when you watch Cosby stand up, he's clean, he's 100% clean, he's cheery and smiley. I'm a happy dad, and Jello pudding and this and that. And then turns out he's a monster. And at the end of the day, I think it's the people that are the most open and vulnerable. That was why it's easier for me to get with to watch Louis.
Yeah,
because it's like he acknowledged it, he made jokes about it, he's honest about what happened, and I think I still really don't really know what happened. Truthfully,
yeah,
I'm not. I know he put out a big New York Times op-ed about it, but I think there's a difference between him and Bill Cosby.
I would think so. Yeah, there's definitely there's levels.
Look, man, I think
as two straight white men, we're here to tell you there's levels.
Exactly, there's levels to it. Just fucking get your head right, people.
We've decided.
Yeah, we decided. We said Louis fine, Bill Cosby's not. That's what we're deciding with. Jay-Z's coin toss at the time, but when we decide, we'll let you know. And if he wants to come back into the industry, we'll make that happen. But
we'll see. Pending trial, we'll see.
Okay. Any other convicted sexual assaulters we want to cover? Convicted rapists.
We really painted ourselves into a hole here.
We have. How do we get out of this?
Much like many of the rappers and people that we've spoken
Snoop
about
Dogg's
today.
doing fine. 50 Cent's doing great. Snoop Dogg's doing fine.
Dude, I saw. Oh my God! I'm glad you. Thank God you brought up Snoop. Snoop's never gonna let us down. I saw on Facebook that Snoop is selling chunks of coal.
Okay.
For for Christmas. He's like, you can go on to it's like snoopcoal.com, and for $35 you can buy like a Snoop certified lump of coal.
Just to put in someone's stuff, kind of a gag gift.
Well, it's like, and this is like, this is Snoop being Snoop here. He's like, the idea is like, no, it's for you because you're because it's not like you're naughty. It's not like you're a bad guy. It's
Yeah.
it's no, you're bad.
You're bad. Okay.
Like you're the baddest motherfucker around.
You're a naughty boy, ain't you?
Yeah, you're getting coal. You're like, yeah, give me that coal. I'm a bad motherfucker.
$35 for coal though.
Yeah. Or you could do I think that you do the 3-pack for $100 if you want 3 of them.
That's pretty. How big is it? Is it like a big chunk of coal?
I think it's like a handful.
I'm just an old chunk of coal. But yeah, I mean, it's just a handful of coal.
Yeah.
A morsel.
This is, I mean, Snoop's the only one I think who could get away with doing something like that.
Selling coal.
Yeah, selling coal.
Yeah, I mean, best of luck to him. He's got a lot of endeavors going on. He's got to be one of the richest people. I mean, he's got so many. He's in every commercial. He's got all these songs coming out. He puts out. People don't notice him. I like Snoop Dogg's music. I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, of course.
In terms of, but he puts out so many fucking just random songs every year.
Does he?
He's just featured on stupid shit. He'll do a song like BTS. I think if the money's right, he just comes in, he does his little 8 bars, and it's the same. It's just SNOOPDOGG from the LBC. That's how it be. All right, and then he leaves. It's like that's every Snoop Dogg song since 2004.
He's got it figured out.
Oh, he does. Yeah,
honestly,
he's in terms of an entertainment aspect. Maybe Pat McAfee might be my hero.
Wait, the McAfee security guy? Is that what you're talking about?
McAfee's cool.
Is that what you?
I missed that one. I think Pat McAfee's cool because he seems like he does whatever he wants. He just kind of seems like he's wherever in terms of like jobs and stuff. It's like, oh, I want to be on College Game Day, I'll go do that. I want to go commentate Monday Night Raw, they let him do that. I want to have all these have Mark Messier and Caitlin Clark on in the same episode of my show. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I want to give away $50,000 to a kid that can kick a 30-yard field goal. Let's do that.
Hell yeah.
He just seems like he's living the dream. And he was a low-grade punter for the Indianapolis Colts for 6 years.
Yes, he was.
And then he turned it into this.
I was really trying to decide whether or not to tell you that I did not know legitimately who Pat McAfee was.
You never seen the Pat McAfee show?
No.
You missed that?
Is that like a sports thing? What is that?
Yeah. It's on but he's pretty experienced. He does College Game Day, and he's a. I'm sure you've seen him. I'll show you something here later. Okay. But he's around. You know, he's a cool guy. He's a chill guy.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck yeah, dude.
He seems like a. But it just seems like every time it seems like he's living out like a kid's dream.
Yeah.
If like they gave a kid a job in the media and entertainment, and they said you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It seems like he's doing he's involved with WWE, college sports, anything he wants to do.
Does he wear bright suits at all? Is there a bright suit happening there?
I don't think it might be Craig Sager.
Okay. I saw a guy on ESPN with a bright suit on. I was at the gym one time.
Okay.
And
he usually wears like tank tops and stuff, and it's a very kind of bro-y kind of show.
Okay.
You're not a sports guy?
I'm not a sports guy. Okay. I used to watch trick shot billiards.
I like Billy. That's a
and bowling.
Tough spot.
I used to watch bowling a little bit.
Bowling, Pete Weber, one of the best athletes ever. You know him? You ever see that video? He bowls a strike, and everybody goes crazy. It's like the last thing he needed to do. And he goes, "Who do you think you are? I am."
Dude, I have seen that. That shit is so fucking crazy. Do you actually? Question.
Yeah.
Do you fuck with Tim Robinson at all?
I like that show. I like the.
Yeah.
Don't think you should leave, right?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I think you should leave. No, I don't think you. Yeah.
I would let you slide with that. Yeah.
That's a sequel. So you should come on, stay a little longer. I like that. The fucking there's a sketch. I don't even think he's in it, but there's a sketch on that show with Tim Meadows from SNL.
Yeah.
He's where he's like they're like at a wedding and there's like they're taking pictures. He's the father of the bride, I think. And there's like a prop table. They're taking pictures. Like, everybody grab a prop. And everybody takes all the good props, and all he gets is a feather. So they're like, all right, 3, 2, 1. He's like, I don't know what to do. And he sticks the feather down his throat and just throws up everywhere. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. And then they're like, what'd you do? He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with the feather. I could have been Barney or something like Barney. And it's like, what? It's like, yeah, dude, just fucking look up Tim Robbins. Not Tim Robbins. What the fuck? Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows, yeah.
I think usually it's the funniest shit.
I don't think I've seen that one, but I will definitely check that out. I only brought him up because I saw he did like a parody of that. You said Pete Weber?
Yeah.
Of the bowler. Yeah, he did a parody of that guy.
Really?
And I can't remember. I don't think it was on that show. I think it was just another sketch that he did.
Okay. Well, I know he had another show that was pretty funny called Detroiters.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
I fucking love that show.
Yeah, it was great. That's one of the best. It's a really good like concept of like I think it's like 2 guys in Detroit, and they go around shooting. They shoot like low budget commercials.
Yeah.
There's just so much material there. It's so much you can do
It's
with
basically like an excuse to just do sketches.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That voice crack, dude. I'm getting nervous. got excited talking about Tim Robinson's
I fucking get it, dude.
endeavors.
So how long you been doing comedy?
I started in May of 2022, so
Okay.
about 2.5 years now.
Okay. Dude, that's
Coming
pretty
along.
good, man. You already opened for Big J Okerson and shit?
Thank you, man. Yeah, it was
That's sick.
I got lucky, man. I put myself in a really before I started working at the Louisville Comedy Club. I was
Okay.
working the door there.
How do you even get it? I feel like you got to know somebody to get a job like that.
It was the club hadn't even opened yet when I got hired on. They were still building it.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
I was like out of a job at the time.
Okay.
And I was just about to go back to school, and I was scrolling through Indeed, and I was always a comedy fan. I always loved it. I even emailed, because the only club before that was a Caravan.
Right.
I think Planet of the Tapes and LCC opened like back to back, kind of.
Really?
Like a month. Like Planet of the Tapes like a month before LCC.
That's so
So
wild.
before that, it was just Caravan. That was the only club here.
Okay.
And what's it called? I emailed Craig one time trying to get on, and I pussied out, and I didn't show up. I DM'd him, and I was like, "Yeah, my roommate's got COVID, and I don't want to risk it. I don't even have a roommate." I was like, "My roommate's got COVID. I don't want." Sorry, Craig. I never told anybody that, actually.
Oh, wow.
Fucking, I never told Craig that, because I always thought he hated me.
Well, luckily he does not listen to this. So
yeah.
I think you're safe.
I think if anybody is still here to listen to that, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy. 'Cause I hope we didn't turn anybody off with the Jay-Z certified pedophile rant.
I can almost assure you that my audience is eating it up. They're like,
That's
"You
okay.
can't
That's
fuck
good.
Jay-Z."
That's good. I feel like I just don't want to be boring. I don't want to turn anybody off.
Yeah, no, I mean,
But no, I emailed Craig, and I tried to I wanted to get on, and he said new comics get 3 minutes. We'll see you this date, and I just freaked out, and I didn't even show up. And I was like, well, that's the end of my comedy career. I guess I'm never doing that.
okay.
And then I'm scrolling through Indeed. I see Louisville Comedy Club's hiring. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
I Google it, and I see news articles, WDRB and shit. They're like, new comedy club coming downtown. I apply. They call me. We do a little phone. I mean, the phone interview was. You said you got to know somebody. You don't got to know anybody. Here's the interview. I said, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm 20 years old. I'm going back to school, and I like comedy. Who's your favorite comedian? Well, Mark Norman was coming. I like him. And they're like, well, I got no problem giving you the job.
Oh,
and
damn.
It was, I literally just, I showed up. There was still like setting tables up and shit. And it was Big Jake Hovis.
Yeah.
He was working.
Absolutely.
He started there with me.
Okay.
And then,
he was working there too?
yeah.
Oh, tight. Okay.
And another guy, Eddie Major.
I don't think I do. I don't recognize that one.
He was working. He was living here. He started working there with me too, and then he what's it called? He went to Austin for a little bit, but now he's back.
Okay.
He's funny as shit. I love that dude, Eddie.
Really?
M.
Okay.
He's funny as shit.
Eddie M. All right.
And yeah, and then I started working there. I was hanging out. I love comedy, so it was such a foreign. And I was really young. I was 22.
Yeah.
I wasn't even old enough to drink yet.
Right.
And I'm like, this is awesome. I'll just go watch the shows. Like Brian Callen and Joe Gatto, the Practical Jokers guys came, and that was awesome. Eddie Griffin.
Dude.
And it was like, oh, this is the best job ever. And then I started going to the open mics, not even going up. I just went to watch, because I knew I ended up meeting some of the guys and shit. And
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I could do this. I don't know. And then I saw one guy. He was like a food runner. He went up.
Who?
He was like a food runner there, just kind of like an expo.
Like he just okay.
Expediter. Yeah. And then he went up and did 4 minutes. And I was like, yeah, right. He can. And he had like a really bad stutter. And he went up, and his stutter kind of went away. But it was like it was kind of weird when I saw him do it. I was like, all right, next week I'm getting up.
Yeah.
And then I got up, and it was like, it went well. The first time went well. Second time, worst set of my life. I'm lucky.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe not the worst. Top 5 worst.
Yeah.
Very bad. Horrible. I mean, I still remember that feeling. I'm glad. I'm very lucky that didn't happen my first time, because I probably wouldn't have gone back up.
Yeah.
But because I had that juice of the what's it
first
called?
one.
Of that first one.
Yeah.
I was like, I got it.
Do you think there's a trend there? Because I swear to God, that literally happened to me too. Like my first set I felt pretty well.
Yeah.
You go up there, you're like, if I got any laughs, that's fucking
Right.
a huge victory.
Yeah.
And then the second one I did one of the Uncle Randy open mics he was doing them at 21st and Germantown.
Okay.
And
That could be a tough room.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah. I think what it is. What'd you do your first one at?
Caravan.
Caravan. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a good first one.
Yeah.
First start.
Yeah, for sure. But I also, I'm still, I've been doing this for, 12, 11 months now. Like, I still don't really know how to write a joke. And so, like,
I don't either. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's Jerry Seinfeld said one time that every joke is a miracle. And I believe that.
Yeah.
Because I think anybody that comes up and they're just like, oh, I got a specific writing process and I came up with this and I'm going to write that. I mean, especially like at kind of this lower level that I'm at.
Yeah.
It's like, I think if you come up and you say you got some kind of secret to joke writing, because I got shit I'm still using from the 4th or 5th time I went up,
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I keep, I'm not famous or nothing. Every time I've ever gone up, I've gone up to a room full of people that had never seen me before.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, right now it's about getting comfortable on stage. Still writing jokes, still important to try new shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think what it is with that is that I think when you go up the first time, and it goes well, you get a little bit of confidence, and you're like, okay, I got this figured out. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you run back that second time, and then you realize you don't know what you're doing. And you just stroke of good luck maybe, or
yeah,
because you were so nervous at first. I think audiences are typically generous when it comes to people's first times.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And,
Especially you let them know, you know, they can be
they're really rooting for you. And look, I think it's 10% of like what you write and 90% how you say it.
Yeah.
Because
okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I see new guys come up and they got premises and shit. They don't know how they're not doing well, but they've got jokes and like premises and stuff to where it's like I could take that and I could easily do something with it.
Yeah.
But they're just I mean, people, I mean, I'm sure older guys look at me and say the same thing about my shit that doesn't do too well. But it's all about I think it's a matter of energy. I remember one time I was at a bar. There was I went with somebody, a friend, to go watch someone headline another comedian, to go watch him. Someone headline the guy Daryl Lennox. He passed away, unfortunately.
Who?
Daryl Lennox.
I don't think I met him.
He's from Canada.
Okay.
But he would headline the Caravan once a year. He was blind by the time. He was on Conan one time. It was a really good set.
Okay.
Daryl Lennox. He just passed away last year.
I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, he's funny. But he went to the Caravan, and one of my friends, she knew the guy that was featuring for him.
Okay.
So we went to go watch the show, and we all went to the bar after me, her, the feature, and Daryl went to a bar.
Yeah.
And Daryl's like trying to get me, because I've been doing comedy like 7-8 months, right?
Okay.
And they're telling me like you got to work. They're telling me like they're giving me advice. And they're like, oh, so you got to work on tightening up your jokes. You got to really get to focus on your laugh per minute. And then Daryl, he tries to look at me. He was blind, but he he looked in my direction and he said, "Let me tell you something, Corey. You've been doing comedy for 8 months. You got a bunch of shit jokes right now, so you can tighten them up, but all you're gonna have is a bunch of tight shit jokes." And I'm like, that's the best advice I ever got. And he goes, "What you need to focus on is the energy. You need to be up there and be comfortable. You need to not focus on what you're gonna say, but how you're gonna say it."
Okay.
And I was like, that's probably the best advice I ever got. No, not one of the best. I don't want to say. I don't like
top 5.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. It's.
I mean, the man just passed. Give him the props.
That's right. That's right. It was the greatest thing I ever heard. But
let him have it.
But yeah, and it was such a good perspective to me, because I stopped worrying about every joke needed to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times once you just get comfortable on stage, and you realize the key is to not really care if they laugh or not. To me, it's just like, all right, I'm gonna believe in your joke. Like when you watch Norm on Weekend Update, and it's like nobody laughs, but he still delivers it with the same cadence as if everybody's laughing. You gotta believe in your joke, man. You gotta really.
It's almost like Norm is happy that they didn't laugh.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I liked it. So fuck off.
Right. That's it. I think that's it, because the audience can sense when you're not comfortable. And if you're like
blood in the water,
and if you like kind of tense up and they see you sweating after a joke don't laugh, they're not going to have any faith in the rest of your act.
Right. Even if it's like perfect,
even if it's good.
Yeah.
So I think you just got to deliver everything the same way and maintain the same energy. Obviously, try to write good jokes.
Yeah.
See what works. Some's going to work better than others.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, man, every time I feel like I go through this cycle, and I think it's partly because I'm just not doing enough open mics right now. Like I'm averaging like maybe one every week or 2 weeks, and it's like I have this cycle where I'll think about some material, I'll sit down, I'll try to write some shit out, but when I'm sitting there looking at paper and I'm just really like trying to like analyze what the joke is, like right. I just get super in my head and super just critical of like, this isn't fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it like you literally can't like it can't be funny the way that it might potentially be on stage.
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. You don't know if it's funny or not because stand-up is completely. That's why I don't think it's an art because I think it's all completely dependent on the audience.
okay.
So it's like you can write a joke and you can. It's not up to me if it's funny or not. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the audience. You go and you say it, and if they laugh, then it's funny. That's why I don't think comedy's subjective either because I think if you write 10 jokes, 5 of them get laughs and 5 of them don't on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
You do that 10 times and the same 5 get laughs, the same 5 don't. To me, that's not objective. To me, that's subjective. To me, it's the joke is objectively good or subjectively bad.
So you're saying it appears subjective just based off of the small sample size. You know, like if you're doing it more often,
right?
And it's overall doing better on a more consistent basis, like that's your objective like note to say it's good.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I totally get that.
And that's why, and that mentality's kind of helped me when I get nervous or something. Before I do a set, if I'm doing like a bigger room or something.
Yeah.
And I just kind of remind myself, like, hey, you've done these jokes literally hundreds of times now. It's always been fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're going to hit harder than others, obviously, but it's always been fine for the most part.
So when you get a bigger show, is that kind of your signal to be like, don't try the new shit, do the shit that is the most consistent?
Yeah, that's kind of been my philosophy. But at the same time, I think that's if you fall too far into that, you kind of get robotic, and you're not really in tune with the audience. You're just kind of saying, "Let me get up, say my jokes, and get out."
Yeah.
So I think it's important to maybe I'll try to. I don't always do this. This is something I'm definitely trying to work on.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make the act seem more like organic. Mm-hmm. So I think even if it's a bigger show or something, just still kind of fuck around maybe with some people in the front row like 2 or 3 times, just to keep them engaged and just to remind myself that all right, I'm here, I'm present.
Yeah.
I'm telling these jokes and I have to talk to them as if this isn't something I wrote down 2 years ago and have been saying once a week ever since.
Yeah. I totally get that. When I first started doing stand-up, like I just now am starting to get it in my head that like, hey, you should probably keep doing the same shit.
I think you're funny. I think you got good shit.
Well, thanks, man.
I think especially that joke where you go, I don't want to I don't want to put anything out there that
no, you're good.
Spoil your content, but you're going to turn into a rally. That's fucking funny.
That's one of those things where like I get so fucking mad at that joke because I've told it so many times and I've told it so many different ways, and everybody only laughs at that part most of the time, and that's the part that's not a joke. That really happened to me.
It's funny though. It's funny. So, you gonna turn into a rally?
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's that's my goal. Is just like, how do I take the shit that has happened to me that I think is funny and or depressing and turn that into like I and this is my own fault. This is my own failing, I think, where I think that, like, you're not a comedian unless you know how to write punchlines, and I think that's a little reductive, when you really...
Yeah, I mean, if you're up there talking, you're a comedian. That's people try to put labels and shit on it, but if you're up there... Eric Kimbrough gave me good advice one time. Okay. When I first started, I went up and...
Oh, dude, he's so fucking funny.
Oh, yeah, he's incredible. But when I first started, I went up and I did a show with him at the Caravan. It was a showcase with him at the Caravan.
Yeah.
And, Jamie Utley...
Yeah,
he put me out. So I was no, I was very new. I was less than a year in. It's Jamie Utley, Rich Reagan's. He's kind of an OG. He's hilarious. He's around here. He's an older guy, but he's I don't want to say that. Sorry, Rich. You're very spry. But he headlines the Caravan and stuff. He was on it. Kimbrough was on it. Jamie Utley was on it.
Okay.
This guy Jason Wrestler was on it. Another kind of veteran who's been doing it for just forever. Open for everybody. Hilarious. Yeah. And then me. So it's like 4 guys been doing it for 20 years, and then me, who hasn't even been doing it for like a year.
Yeah.
And I went up, and I had a pretty rough set. And Kimbrough comes up to me, and he was like, "Man, you got good shit, but you got to hit it. You got to really know when they're gonna laugh."
Okay.
So, to me, when I'm writing a joke or when I'm analyzing a joke after a set, it's always best to know when they're gonna laugh. So instead of just kind of, I see some people that go over there with a premise and they just kind of ramble, but I think it's always best to know when the punchlines are, when the audience is supposed to laugh.
Yes.
So, and even if you go up there and you start telling a joke and they laugh at something, like you said, like, oh, it's not, they're not supposed to laugh at that, but that's still a punchline, though. Yeah. Even if it's still funny, I mean.
It's fine that they laugh. It's just,
The goal is for them to laugh. I mean, I've had jokes where the setup gets a bigger laugh than the punchline, but I'll still do them just because it's like they're laughing.
I mean, if the setup is better than the punchline, then does that mean that the setup was the punchline and the punchline was maybe just a tag?
I had a joke that I did when Mike Tyson put out gummies in the shape of Evander Holyfield's ear.
What?
I don't even remember the punchline.
Is that right?
That's what I'm saying. That was a punchline. I said, "You guys see Mike Tyson put out gummies in the shape of Evander," and the fucking crowd they were dying, dude. I did it for like an older crowd at the Caravan.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. It was the funniest shit ever. I say, "Hey, you guys see?" I'll silence that in a second, but fucking, I'm sorry. Fucking
How dare you?
Yeah, right. No, fucking, they got this fucking soundboard and shit. It's all bouncing off my ass.
It's cost thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I might do this. I'm gonna do this joke tonight just so I can prove it.
Hell yeah.
But fucking,
I want to hear.
Because we're on the same show. Well, no, it's like,
yeah, we're going.
Mike Tyson put out gummies in the shape of weed gummies in the shape of Evander Holyfield's ear. And then, how's the punchline go? And it was when OJ was still alive. And I was like,
yeah.
What's next? OJ Simpson's going to put out gummies in the shape of the lies and deceit of a guilty man who shows no remorse for what he did. And then it was such a long-winded, just stupid kind of fucking punchline that, I mean, there's some jokes I write and just so I can do them on open mics just to feel them out. But I did that. It was like an older crowd at the Caravan. And I said the gummy part, and they fucking died. Like, they just, I mean, it was like the biggest laugh of my set. In 20 minutes, I was by far the biggest laugh.
Yeah.
And it was like a fucking nice 30-second. And then I did that punchline. I'm talking silent, bro. Just straight, what the fuck? Because they're old. They don't get that meta humor kind of fucking drawn out shit. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, I tried that. First of all, I totally get that. Also, bless you, for having the balls to even go out there and try to do that. I the first time I ever did that rallies joke was I did a punchline kind of similar to that. It was like, I was like, what? You going to turn into a rally? I was like, you going to turn into a mass political protest where people try to affect change economically, socially, or politically? And I'm like, and it got nothing. I'm like, all right, maybe that was a mistake.
I think if you make it longer.
Just keep going.
Yeah, no, if you just keep going, I swear, and you write out something like real structured,
I
think people will dig it.
Oh shit, okay, all right.
It's got to get to the point to where it's like, oh shit, he's still going. Because I saw Jeffrey Asmus at the. I'm spoiling his closer too, but his closer is like bet out people with, like, his dad is always like, oh, I can't believe kids are doing this. But then what about his dad? Like, oh, I can't believe it. And he did that all the way back until like 1200.
Oh,
like,
shit.
It was literally like the punchline kept going, and then his dad. And then his dad. And it just kept going back.
What was that, like 15 minutes worth of?
It was about 5 or 6. But
okay.
It was it got to the point where it was like every time he said, and then his dad.
Yeah.
And it would get a laugh.
And that's, and that's a cool, like, that's an original punchline.
Yeah, no, he is great. He is. Do you know who, Jeffrey Asmus?
I don't think so. No,
he's a newer guy. He's out of New York.
Okay,
but
this is why I bring people on so I can hear about other guys.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to know about guys.
You got to know. You got to get your guys in tow.
The other guys. Jeffrey Asmus is out of New York. He's a fucking. I think he's become somewhat of like a comedian's comedian. Yeah. I'd say, because he's super great writer.
Okay,
and he's super like.
As a New York comic should.
Yeah, and he's not really like, he doesn't really hold back, and he hits all levels, and he plays a character kind of like on stage a little bit, but
okay,
it's really, I think you would really like it. I'll send you some of his stuff later.
Okay, fuck yeah.
But yeah, he was at the club probably 2 weeks ago. I went and saw him, and he was actually the first guy. He came a little while, probably about a year and a half ago, and he was the first guy I did a hosting gig for ever.
Okay.
So that was he's a.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So you've hosted for or open for some of these bigger touring acts. Like, can you tell me what their do you know what their perception of Louisville is right now? Because I feel like Louisville is really burgeoning a comedy scene right now. At least the last couple of years.
I think so too, and I see a lot of them come through.
Okay.
But I think these guys, just because from working at the club too, but I think a lot of these guys are just so kind of worn out from being on the road, maybe.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like they're just here to get in and get out.
Okay.
So when you say impression on Louisville, you mean the comedy scene, the city?
Yeah, the comedy scene. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, sure, the city too, but I mean, I assume that they're probably just like, it's another city.
I think it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of these guys, when they come through, they don't really care too much about the local comic scene here.
Right. They're just like mercenaries. They just want
they're here to get, dude, they get so much fucking money. It's insane. They get so much goddamn money from these clubs.
Do they?
They get so that's why comedy clubs work.
Yes, do they?
Yeah,
How much? What is it?
I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that when you come through, so let's just do the math here.
Okay.
That Louisville Comedy Club
Yeah.
seats about 300 people.
Okay.
You do 5 shows, $30 a ticket, let's say.
Okay.
3, and then you do a sellout. You sell out the whole weekend.
Well, 30 times 300 was that like that's like 10 grand right there?
Let's say 9,000. Let's keep it on the low side, right?
Yeah.
And then
Mathematically speaking,
do 5 shows, 9 times 5, 45, right?
45. Okay.
So you get making 45 grand, and
Holy
they keep 95% of that.
Do they really?
Yeah, it's because the club. That's why all the clubs have 2-item minimums, because they make all their money. Comedy club is it's a restaurant. That's all it is. It's a restaurant that brings in people for shows. But any comedy club in the country, they're all going to have a minimum.
Yeah,
and that's because they're restaurants and bars that get people in.
So all they really care about is just getting people
in
through the door.
We could literally, I mean, there's some shows. So like I did my show there. I did like a Corey Miller and Friends thing.
Okay,
I didn't get the same deal. They have different contracts for different people.
Yeah.
With me, I think
sure.
They said it has to be $10 tickets.
Okay,
they were allowed to give away as many free tickets as they wanted.
Okay,
and then I got a $300 guarantee.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, like just for you.
Yeah, $300 guarantee for me.
Okay,
because I was responsible for paying everybody out.
Yeah.
And then,
you get that. You distribute it however.
Well, I got the guarantee, but if I sold more than I would end up getting half the ticket sales. So we see 300. We got if we $10 a ticket. If we sold out, would have been $3,000 ticket sales. I would have got $1,500.
Okay, and
then I would pay that out. I ended up I got a check. I'll say it. I got a check for $690, and I kept $150 of that after paying everybody out.
Really?
So not a bad payday.
Okay,
not a bad payday, but I paid
for doing what you love, and you already got a job. Like it's just extra change.
Yeah. But I think to me it's important to know, especially if there's like comedians listening to this, there is a business side to this whole thing as well, and
Absolutely.
like how comedy clubs work and how they book and how they pay people out. Because I mean, I see the guys that come through and you do sold out weekends there, 45K.
Yeah,
I mean, you're giving a lot of that to tax. I don't say most, but a lot of that to taxes. Still though,
of course,
$20,000 a weekend. You do that for fucking what's it called? 4 times what's it called? One of those 12 of them a year, months.
Yeah,
do that 4 times a month.
Yeah, they're months.
Yeah.
Man,
that's good money.
Yeah, dude, fuck yeah.
$80 a month.
You're making it.
$80,000 a month.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why. Do you think that's why? Like, I mean, because here's the thing: anybody can be a comedian.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's why most people get into it? Is this dream of like we could just be rich, just telling jokes, talking about our penises?
I think at this point, that's definitely the reason I stayed in it.
Yeah,
because it's just, you have those nights to where it's like,
yeah,
I don't love this shit. It's like, I'm not in love with this. I'm not fucking born to do this. I'm not.
I've talked to people who just started. They're like, I'm gonna sell out arenas. Are you?
There's this fucking guy. There's this guy. He's a super nice. He's a super nice guy. He's only done stand up twice.
Yeah,
but I meet some good people at because I run the open mic on Tuesdays up there now.
Oh, you run it now?
Yeah, and
tight, okay.
Grant's running the Wednesday nights. I'm doing the Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
And there's one guy. He's a super nice guy, and he's actually pretty funny. But he's just so like excited about. He's only done it twice.
Yeah.
And he texted me these big, fucking thank you so much, man. This is like a drug to me. His name's Christian, dude. He's funny. He's a super nice guy, but he's like very excited. He's like, it's like a drug to me. I never want to let it go, and I'm fucking full on into this. And I hope he sticks with that because that's a good energy to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's funny because I think it's hard. It's a hard energy to keep up.
Yeah.
After
he might burn out pretty quick.
Doing this year. You look at it like a job, It's I'm here to have a good set.
Yeah.
And then get out.
And that's how I ultimately feel about it. Like,
not that I don't love it. Not that I'm very appreciative and thankful that I get to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I am just like this, like, because I think if you're gonna do it, there needs to be a little bit like there needs to be a balance between delusion and like reality. So it's like I'm not doing this thinking like, oh, this is gonna be my main gig. I'm gonna make over 6 figures doing this. Like, it would be like it'd be nice.
It'd be great,
But
I wouldn't mind if you made it.
That thought alone, I don't think is what keeps me going. I think the idea is just like, having something that you can enjoy and that you care about. And I'll tell you something else about comedy that I haven't really had much access to is just getting the opportunity to meet new people and build a community, like especially at my age, like it's really like just people that you work with, and if like you better hope you have some extracurricular activities because it's just your coworkers and your family.
Yeah,
really. And
no, it's not to get all sappy and gay, but this is
let's do it, dude.
I'm still young, so maybe but it really is like now that I'm kind of really like finding comfort in doing comedy, and I'm really like feeling good about myself as a comedian.
Yeah.
It's like it feels weird because it's like I got like a purpose and I got something that I really
Yeah.
can strive for and work hard at, and it's a weird feeling, but it's pretty incredible at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I try not to think about it too much that way because I think sentiment is the enemy of comedy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I think when people go up there and they really start thinking what they're saying is important.
Oh yeah.
And no audience is gonna like that.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself above them.
You start thinking your opinion matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, you don't like it. Doesn't matter. I mean, you're a comedian. You're stupid. You don't, you know.
People, and that's I think maybe you're right to a certain extent where like that is sort of that line where people who do look at comedy as an art, and I'm not going to say where I fall on that line because I could fall anywhere on either side.
I get the argument. I get the argument for it.
Yeah,
I get the argument for it, but just to me, it's like because it's a live performance and because it's completely dictated by what your performance is completely dictated on what the audience is saying. To me, it's not art because art's subjective. You can look at Starry Night and say, well, it's not a great painting.
Yeah.
Or you can look at it and say it is a good painting. But with me, it's like there's a flatline way of seeing how good somebody's doing, and that's how many people are laughing and how often throughout their set they're laughing.
Absolutely.
So that's why to me it's more of just like a skill.
And as soon as they start taking it way too seriously, that's when you start losing people.
Right.
As soon as you start losing the fact that like, oh, this is just fun, goofy time.
Right.
Like that's when.
Or some people they get to they do good coming out the gate and they've been doing it 3 or 4 years and then they kind of stop trying. They stop putting effort in.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've already proved myself. I don't need to show out for anybody no more.
Right. And then you start asking, well, what was it all about? Was it about you just getting some kind of props, or was it about you having a fun time?
I've got something now where it's like I hope I never lose it, to where it's like, even like for a lot of open mics, I'm like, God, this has to go well.
Yeah.
Every time I step on stage, it's like, it just in my brain, it's like the thought of bombing just scares me so much. And I know
does it really?
I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with it when it does. And I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But there's.
So you don't go up there now thinking like, I'm funny.
There's not that I'm not funny, but
yeah,
I'm gonna bomb again.
Yeah.
I think I'm funny, but it's all you put yourself. There's some situations in some rooms that are just worse than others for me or just in general.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's not all gonna go well. I still do open mics a lot, so
yeah,
you put yourself in a lot of bad situations doing open mics.
Yeah, it gets rough out there sometimes.
You're gonna. But you just don't want it. But I just don't want everybody there to hate me.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what a lot of what the whole thing is it's just you just going up there and just hopefully being liked for 5 minutes,
right?
But you raised a point that I wanted to touch on because I was last year I was watching Ron Funches at the comedy club in Louisville, and the Louisville Comedy Club, and he was doing all right. Like, I'm a huge fan of Ron Funches.
I think he's awesome. I love him.
I think he's fucking hilarious. And the crowd wasn't doing him justice, which is always rough to be in that situation. He was getting heckled a little bit, and he talked about it. It got so bad he talked about it on his podcast like the night after. And he was like, and I'm, I'm just, he's like I told
I can't believe they were talking to him.
Louisville. He's like, I know I'm funny.
Yeah.
I don't need y'all to tell me I'm funny.
Right.
I know I'm funny.
Yeah.
And I couldn't decide how I felt about what he was saying there. Like it sounds to me like you're admitting that it wasn't your fault, that it wasn't that good. But also, like, aren't you, as a comedian, aren't you supposed to be like, hey, this is my job. If they didn't laugh, that's on me.
Yes and no. I think you just gotta. There's just gonna be bad situations, and you're not gonna be able to work yourself out of it every time.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of the game. I think is that you're nobody. No comedian. I don't care who you are. I don't care if Chris Rock or Louis or, especially with the kind of shit that we do.
Yeah.
Where we go around doing kind of bar shows and shit we never seen. They're going around. You get to a point where we do with theaters of 2,000 people screaming your name. It's kind of hard to fuck that up. But
you've already got the ball rolling at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think when you're even doing clubs and stuff like Ron Funches, where maybe he didn't sell a lot that second show and they gave away some free tickets and they didn't know who he was or something.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's maybe not an easy situation for him.
That's a good point.
And I'm sure there's been other shows where that's happened and he's killed it. But I think that you do got to reassure yourself when a set doesn't go well that, hey, I'm still funny. You didn't work out that time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back up. It's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
So there is a sense of reassurance I think you got to stick with, because it might sound again like it sounds pretentious when he does it, and I probably wouldn't come out and say. Here's an example. I did a show with Big Jake one time, Big Jake Hovis.
Yeah.
And so he comes out to me at the Caravan, and he's like, "I'm doing this corporate gig down in Lexington in a month or two. They want me to do an hour. I'd rather just do 45. Can you just come do 15 before me? Pay out for it." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do it."
Hell yeah.
So we get there. We're driving, and he's clean. So I'm like, "Do I got to be?" And I can do. That's not my best, but I mean, I can do 15 clean.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, "Do I got to be clean?" But he says no.
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah, you go do your thing. Do your thing." I mean, I'm not gonna just go up there, fucking bitches and titty sucking and shit, and then just bring. There's Jake Hovis, and then So I'm gonna keep it. But we're all adults. So what I thought. So
he's like, "Yeah, titty sucking, fucking yeah."
All right. I love Jake. Jake's so funny too.
Dude, he is, man. He's fucking.
He is a killer. But no, so fucking, we go down there, man, and it's at UK. It's on campus at UK.
Okay.
And it's this. I don't get too in detail, but it's only people that are allowed to go there are in the specific hall that we were in. The only people that are allowed in that club are faculty and alumni. So not even students. It's all and people like that. And it's the tickets to the show. It's literally just Jake Hovis, $48.
Whoa.
Okay. So many headliners come through the LCC. No. If they charge $50, it's like Mike Epps might be the only one that's charging. So $48, it's like, all right, you guys got money. You guys know what you're doing.
Yeah.
We get there, the show's set up all funky. It's like it's kind of like in a room like this, kind of like a weird the building is like a fucking castle. It's like the fanciest shit I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. It's in like this off room where they just got like a makeshift microphone. There's no stage or anything. They just got different tables set up, maybe like 4 or 5 people at each table. Mm-hmm. 30 people in the room, maybe, if that, 25, 30.
Holy shit.
I'm tripping. I'm like, this is not for me.
Intimate space.
Yeah, that's not for me. This is clean shit. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll be a little clean or whatever.
Yeah.
Right before the show starts, this fucking lady brings in her 2 9-year-old daughters.
Oh,
to come sit. So I'm like, anything I've got that's remotely inappropriate or sexual, I'm getting out. You guys are going to be talking about me on the podcast along with Jay-Z and Diddy and shit. So fucking. So I got to, I'm like, all right, I'm going 100% clean. And I got a lot of, when I first started, I had a lot of, talk a lot about Jewish shit.
Okay.
I'm half Jewish, and I would talk a lot about that.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm half Jewish. My dad's Jewish, so I grew up celebrating Hanukkah, stuff like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
I was from New York. My grandma's you got to meet my grandma, the most
Dude,
violent.
I was about to ask if you were from, not New York, but anywhere from here.
Yeah, I grew up in New York, and we celebrated Hanukkah. I went to Catholic school. I was mostly, my mom was Catholic, so
Catholic and Jewish.
I know, I had a mixed kind of thing. They took me out of the...
How do you know, where the hatred's coming from?
The hatred, it's just all. It's all for myself. It's all. I think that's the Irish in me, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
Irish,
Jewish, Catholic, and Irish.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucked. And German too. My grandpa on my mom's side was German.
Holy shit,
so,
dude.
Yeah,
no wonder you're doing comedy.
No shit. I got nothing else to do. I can't do sports or anything. I just sit around and get drunk. Yeah. That's what pisses me off. I don't get on a bit, but when people are like, Jews rule the world, it's like, well, yeah, what the fuck are we gonna do? Play basketball? We can't do shit else. All right. We got to sit down and type shit out. That's all we're born to do.
Yeah, why don't you sit in front of a desk?
Yeah.
See how it goes.
But fucking, when I started, I had a lot of Jewish shit because it was an easy laugh, and it was like, I'm half Jewish. What's up with us liking money and matzah?
Yeah.
And I would do shit like that. But it was clean. It was a pretty wholesome, clean family stuff, It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So this is right after the whole fucking Palestine and Israel shit's going on too. So
you can't even do that shit now.
Well, no, I wasn't going to talk about that. I'm not going to bring that up to the kids. But but it was happening. So there's turmoil, there's anti-Semitism, I guess.
Can you say Jewish children?
Yeah.
Can you say challah?
Yeah. You guys ever heard about the Red Cross numbers? Not 6 million. But no. So I got the joke where I say, Jesus would have convinced the Jews that he was the prophet if he spelled it Profit. I don't know if you ever heard me do that.
I don't think so.
But it's like prophet and it's whatever.
Yeah.
So I tell that joke and sometimes it gets like a decent laugh. People are like, oh, I get it, whatever.
Yeah.
And I tag it and I go, well, that's a good joke, and then that usually gets a much bigger laugh.
Okay.
Because then once I say that.
Because you're like, I'm standing by it.
Yeah, right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think it takes them a second to get it, and then once they get it, they're kind of chuckling, but it's still a little heady.
Yeah.
But then once I just flat out say that gets a good reaction.
It's a little underhanded,
right?
You know.
So I say that joke there. I'm doing well off the top because
Okay.
I start off and I'm doing like it's kind of my opening stuff.
Yeah.
I have this one joke about Jason Aldean that kills. So I'm like, oh, fucking, all right, I got him. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not planning on doing the whole 15. I'm like, I'll do a quick 8 and get out of here, you know. So, but then I do
round up.
I do that joke and I tag. I say, that's a good joke. This fucking lady in the front stands up and she goes, no, it's not. It's anti-Semitic.
Oh,
in front of everybody. I mean, everybody. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, and I'm scrambling. I'm like, hey, it's not. It's I'm trying to just having fun. You guys having fun? All right, whatever. And then I fucking scramble. And then I'm like, dude, I'm like 3 minutes in. The rest of my shit's all Jewish shit. So I gotta say, okay, my fault. So then I gotta keep on with this Jewish shit. Like, guy up on my roof working on my apartment. The only time I go up on the roof is to play a fiddle. What's up with that? And then everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So they all hate me. Everything sucks. I want to kill myself. I'm thinking I'm gay and shit. And I mean, you can just see it in my face. Because it's such intimate. Like you said, it's such intimacy there.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm like dying up there. I'm like this.
And they don't know you're Jewish.
Yeah. No, I bring it up. I say it in the joke. I say no. That's obviously my go-to when she says it. Oh, I'm Jewish, ma'am. I'm Jewish.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking
Sit the fuck down.
Yeah. So I do that and all that. I'm like, all right, let's keep the show going. Give it up for Jake Hovis. Jake goes up and fucking destroys. I mean, that's just his kind of whatever that kind of room was. It's right. It's right up his alley.
It's bread and butter. It's his bread and butter.
He does a lot of corporate gigs. He does a lot of. So he's equipped to that kind of.
I'd love to know how you even get into doing corporate. Like I feel like you got to know people who are booking for those.
Yeah. He's great at the business side of this. I mean, he's funny, but he's got that going for him too.
Okay.
So he's very good at getting stage time in the most random places. But he's such a comfortable guy, and he's talked about this before with me. He's like, he doesn't lack any confidence, and so it's very easy. Because me going up there, I'm terrified if anything went wrong. Yeah. Because if someone called me anti-Semitic at a comedy club or something like that, to where that's another thing about corporate shows that they all know each other.
Yeah.
So you can't shit on anybody because if that happened at a comedy club, I'd just say, hey, shut the fuck up, and everybody's on my side, kind of.
Right.
If that's
that's Sandy from accounting.
Exactly.
We gotta live with her after this.
Fucking oh my god. So she comes and and the fuck part is I'm hosting. And I got to get him off there.
Yeah.
So he's sitting. There's like a chair. They don't have a green room. There's just like a chair on the other side of the room. So I got to sit there and watch his set the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the room where just fucking. Where that just happened. There's 45 minutes of Jake Hovis like, what's your name? He's like, Tucker. That's almost normal. They're loving it. It's like shit like that. It's just, oh my god, it was awesome. And the guy that put it together, he was so happy to have. When we got there, that's one thing I will notice about when I do gigs at places that don't normally do comedies, that they're usually very excited. The people putting it together. And he's like, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited. We've been doing. I swear to God, after my set, dude did not look me in the eye. He walked by me at least 10 times, did not even look me in the eye. I deserved it.
He's like, I can't be seen associated.
The big point about this, the whole point of the story, is that as much as I wanted to kill myself and quit comedy, and I gave up 2 guest spots, sold out shows at William Montgomery to do that. He was at the club, and he's like, you can do both shows tomorrow night, and I'd already agreed to do the show with Jake.
Oh.
And I was like,
that's a good dude right there, man.
I agreed to do the show, and I get to do that, and it was just like, I'm so fucking stupid. I should have never done this. Jake just killed in there, and I couldn't even get a fucking laugh. Yeah. I'm a fraud. I'm a fucking pansy. I'm a piece of shit.
And you got to do it for 15 minutes. You got to go up there and bomb for 15 minutes.
Jake did it for 45, and he killed.
Yeah.
So it's like, Yeah, so it's like that. That's when you start feeling like, and he's super nice. So we because we was in Lexington, so we had an hour and a half drive back home.
Yeah,
and we we definitely
you debriefing about how it went.
we didn't really talk about it. He was very
really? Okay.
He talked about it at first, and he was like, because at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal. Had a bad set. That's what you got to look at it.
Yeah.
And he was very. He acted like nothing happened. He was having a normal conversation with me. He was very good. It was very, very productive. I could definitely tell because I parked at his house, and then we got back there, and I went in and said goodbye and said what's up to his wife.
Okay.
I could definitely tell it's one of those things where as soon as I shut the door, he immediately told her exactly what just happened. I could tell it was one of those things.
Boy, Corey really chuffed it.
Yeah. He has not asked me back to nothing since. But
Yeah, he will. He will.
Yeah. If you're listening, Jake, I need you.
Dude, I mean, honestly, that makes me feel much better as someone who, is still 50-50 on whether or not it ends up being a good set or not. And
to me, my mistake is that you got to put yourself in a point to where if it goes bad, it's not going to affect you.
Yeah.
And I was not in that state. I was in full on. This has to go good. This got to go good. This has to go well. Everything has to go well. I got to do good. Jake's here. He asked me to do this. I got to do good for him. I got to do good for these people. They paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a fancy room. It's this and that. And I got so in my head to the point where it was like, if anything went wrong, I wouldn't know how to handle it. Something went wrong. I didn't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a learning experience. I'm glad it happened for real because I like to think if that happens again, I'll be better prepared.
I mean, if that happened and you got through it and you're still over here doing it, like you're gonna be fine.
But that's when you say, like when Ron Funcher says, "Oh, can't blame." At a certain point, you gotta kind of blame the audience. You can't blame you too much on yourself outside of saying, "I wasn't equipped for that. It was a shit situation.
Mm-hmm.
You just didn't know. You didn't know what to do at the time." And
yeah,
I like to think a lot of people probably wouldn't have known either. But
yeah, it'd be a huge learning experience. I mean, put any other open micer from the city up in that situation, see how they do.
Maybe not, because a lot of them have more confidence than me, and that's one thing I will say where this delusion and raw confidence, it does help you in a situation like that, which is something I don't have.
Yeah,
it's something I definitely have to fabricate. But
same, right there with you.
It's something that been talking comedy. I go on I'm sorry if I've been yapping, dude. I go on tangents when it comes to
this is what
comedy.
it is.
I'm such a fucking guy. How long do these usually go? How long is a normal episode of the
they usually
Talk
go
Zone?
for as long as they need. I mean, I try to get them at least an hour.
Okay.
We're
past that, aren't we?
We're past that, yeah.
Okay.
So, it's really, just as far as we want to keep going.
No, I like talking to you, man. You're good. You're a good host, man. You're a good, you're very giving. What? You're very giving. You got me in this secluded room where the noise is bouncing off the walls, and I feel like I'm isolated in that.
Yeah, man.
I can say whatever I want.
It's like confessional right now,
right?
Except that a lot of people are going to hear this though, for real.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I say a lot. I mean, maybe like 15 people.
That's dude. I mean, you seem like you got a good. You're like I said, you got. This seems legit, dude. This seems like that's why I wanted to do it because I'm like, you know what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
I
appreciate
like you fucking. It seems like you really got a good thing going.
Well, I used to do this with my girl Allison. We did another podcast a year or two ago. And so that kind of and we did that for about a year and a half, and that gave me, gave me the experience to kind of figure out what it is and what I want it to be. And, it's, and again, it's, as you said, it's like if any comic is going to make it, like this is kind of part of what the deal is,
Yeah.
And I like, to kind of bring it full circle back to us talking about talk shows, from back in the day, like there's just like this energy of like being up late at night and hearing people just having a conversation and they're talking about, whatever they want to talk about. It could be talking about like issues that are affecting society, or, they could just be, talking about goofy shit that's going on in their lives. And just that feeling of like being up when no one else is up.
Yeah.
And there's like a magic energy to that, And so my whole thing is like I'm just trying to recreate that,
right? In any way you can, because it was also one thing that TV is always going to have of a podcast too is that I don't think they shoot the shows live, but it comes on, and then it's done, and it's like if you get a chance to watch it, it's like you're experiencing something that's happening now.
Yeah,
that's why I think sports is so cool because when you're watching it, you're watching. Everybody else in the world is everybody that's watching it. They're all watching at the same time as you.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe a podcast or something, it's all on demand. It's all whenever you listen to it, whenever you can get it.
Right.
Not that it's not that has its own benefits too, for sure.
The community's like in the comments.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. I'm kind of sad that I'll never be able to. Like, I don't think I'll ever be able to go to work and then just talk about what happened on like a sitcom the night before.
Yeah.
You know, I would have loved to go to work, like be working at an office the day after the contest aired on Seinfeld, and everybody's talking about it and shit. And,
Oh yeah.
you know,
dude.
it's something like a really good episode of a TV show, and then everyone's talking like, because that happens with sports still. Everybody, to see the game, and because it all happens live. It doesn't really happen with like comedy or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe like a really big pot, like when Rogan had Trump on, everybody's asking about that and shit like that.
Dude, that was so massive.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. It was fucking wild.
But so like a really big podcast like that, but that's so rare these days where
Yeah.
something happens like that to where everybody sees it.
Yeah, you can't really go into the office the next day and be like, dude, you hear all that crazy shit Tim Dillon said?
Right? Yeah. Who the fuck is that? As another, there's so much
Because
shit
that
out there.
fucking
Nobody knows
right.
who. Tim Dillon has a huge audience, but nobody knows who he is for some reason. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, who is Tim Dillon? You know?
Yeah.
You know, talk about probably getting into some nefarious shit. That's probably him right there. you know?
He's to me is like that's who you want to be if you want to get into entertainment, because
yeah.
do you watch him pretty often?
You know, not as much as I used to, but I would be lying if I did not say he was probably one of the biggest inspirations to me.
That's a good thing, because he's so like. Did you see him? He was in the new Joker movie. Did you see that, the Joker too?
I heard him talking about it.
That's so fucking funny
On
for him
Bad Friends,
for
yeah.
him to come out and just say, "I was in the worst movie of all time, Joker 2." It is, but then he's like telling specific stories on the set where it's like, "Yeah, me and the other actors are sitting around watching this, like it'll never work."
Yeah.
Like it's so fucking cool to me, and that to me, that authenticity,
Yeah.
that's what's cool about it.
He destroyed his future career in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's just so.
But is he really destroying it though? I don't think he is.
Right.
I think he's a genius, because when you come out and say that, it probably makes people want to. It builds up, like, I think more people are going to want to put him in the movies now,
Yeah.
because you know he's like this cool kind of thing to where it's like, oh, if you put Tim Dillon, that's risky. He might talk shit about it, and then
Yeah.
for a director to have like a rebel attitude and be like, fuck it, I'll put this guy who talks shit about.
It's like you're
the stuff
Jerry
he's in.
Springer-fying the set of the movie a little bit, you know.
Jerry Springer. I wish I got to go to one of his shows before he passed. Rest in peace, man.
Me too, man. I really feel like I missed an era there. I mean, I would watch it as a kid, but like, you know, I didn't fucking get anything on there that was going on.
No, I didn't. I watched it unironically, kind of.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, these people they're really fighting. This is interesting. They're really, but now it's like, in terms of entertainment, I love that. I like that trashy shit. I like I like professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I like the old, like, I mean, I still like it now, but I just like, I don't know. I think it's the problem with media is that when you get in that bubble, like we talked about earlier, and you're out of touch, you leave out so much of the country that doesn't, which I think is kind of new, because when you would put on sitcoms back in the day, your goal was to get the middle America kind of normal guy crowd, Home Improvement, Roseanne, fucking Boy Meets World. It's all these regular people shit, and they would do Home Improvement would
Love
do
all those shows.
better numbers than Seinfeld some nights, because you know it's like it's not a hip fucking quirky show. It's like, oh, there's a guy who runs a tool. He's got a tool
grunts.
shed. Yeah, he
He's
hangs out
kind of a dick to his wife.
a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to? You ever see According to Jim with Jim Belushi?
I've heard of I think I've maybe seen like some bits and pieces.
Ironically, the funniest show.
Really?
It's literally like, because his wife is like, he's just the worst husband ever, and his wife does not. It's like, Jim, we'll go. It's like Christmas morning. Jim, we're going to church. I mean, it's like he's got like 3 kids and his wife, and you know he's just fucking. His wife's like a fucking 9, and he's just like this fucking fat dude. He's drunk all the time. Every episode is just, she comes down and all right, Jim, it's Christmas morning. We're going to church. Babe, the fucking Packers are on. What am I going to church for? All right, sweetie, we'll see you when you get home. Don't come home. I don't want you bothering me. Whatever you say. And it's just like, it's just like the fucking most ridiculous shit. But that's
sounds like some meta shit where they're like, are they?
I think to me the way they did it, like, it seems completely serious.
Yeah.
But like me watching it, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, because it's like it's so it's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
Especially
so, like,
especially
unaware
for
of
someone my
itself.
age who nothing like that would fly today.
Oh god.
Not in terms of like, oh, they're canceling you, but it's just in terms of like nobody acts like that, you know?
An episode like that, like if you were to remake that show today, an episode would be more like they're arguing about like the girl's like, you need to find a therapist, and he's
Right.
like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then he does, and then he's like, oh, I'm so much better now.
But if that show came on today, then he would be the worst guy in the world. He would be like the villain.
Oh yeah, he'd be like the Family Ties dad.
You ever
he
see
was
that-
like openly racist,
I miss that. I miss Family Ties. Was that?
It was.
I know it was Michael
from
J.
the
Fox.
70s,
Michael J.
yeah.
Fox, I know, was on it.
I
Wasn't he?
think so. Yeah, but the dad was just like openly racist
Okay.
on the show. Like that was part of the joke.
Yeah. Well, All in the I watched All in the Family a little bit. I mean, Archie Bunker was a.
Is that what maybe that's what I'm thinking of? Were they playing the piano?
Yeah. All in the Family.
Oh
yeah.
shit. Okay, I said Family
yeah,
Ties.
Yeah. I never saw Family Ties, but
Yeah,
I saw all in the Family.
Clearly, me neither.
Yeah, right. but it was like, I think at the time it was funny because it was like cool. It was like people didn't go on there to talk about racial issues and stuff. And like
Yes.
that was even though he was a racist, just the portraying a guy a white guy from the suburbs talking about black people.
Yeah.
It was like you didn't see it. It wasn't like on I Love Lucy where,
It's just like conveyor belt. Oh, where are we going to do all these biscuits?
Oh my God. Yeah. But it was like a serious kind of. It was a real life. What's the word I'm looking for? Depiction of of a human being.
Yeah.
And obviously, like that today wouldn't fly because there's people like that don't exist anymore. People like Archie Bunker, they're not like. Oh, all right. That was stupid. thing to say. That was stupid. That was stupid. They're not as common, and they're not
You have
as.
not met my mom.
They're a lot. Yeah, they're a lot older, and they're not as like commonplace.
Yeah,
And it's not.
They're not in the zeitgeist anymore.
Yeah,
they're sunsetting.
Right.
Those people.
Yeah.
It's
They're
over
not,
for them.
They're not on the PTA boards and shit. Like Archie. Well,
No.
Archie was.
They are in. They
Archie
are
was a shit
holding
husband too.
captive
I've seen a
positions,
few episodes where Edith comes home, and I can't even lie though. Edith was kind of annoying.
but- Is that right?
Is his wife? Yeah.
Okay.
She comes home. There's one episode where she comes home and she's fucking. Archie, I want to stuff the turkey for Thanksgiving. I don't want to stuff the turkey. Archie, get in here and stuff the turkey. And she starts singing, "Oh, happy day." It's like, stop fucking singing. And it's just again, if that happened today, a guy yelling at his wife to shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Did you ever see the show Kevin Can Fuck Himself? Did you ever hear that? It was on AMC. Did you ever see that? It's the most ridiculous
What?
shit.
That's not a real show.
It's a real show. I don't think it's
What?
on anymore. It was 2 seasons. It's called Kevin Can Fuck Himself.
Okay.
And it's like they have this stereo. It's
Can't imagine what that's about.
all right. So it's about a husband and wife.
Okay.
And they have a sitcom show, right? Like
Yeah.
King of Queens kind of thing.
Okay.
And
Yeah, King Queen.
right. And the husband's like the typical. They portray him as like it came on recently.
Okay.
And the husband's like a typical goof, like ignores the wife and shit.
Yeah.
And they have a laugh track and it's like sitcom writing and shit and
Okay.
all that. But then when the wife leaves the room, it goes into like single camera and it's shot like a drama show.
Oh,
and like she's all
whoa.
sad. So it's like the concept of the show is like, when you see all the shows where the guy treats the woman terrible. Well, this show is about that wife when she leaves the room. And it's like, yeah. So it'll come on, and the guy will be like, "Hey, honey, fucking have a good day at work. I don't give a shit." Laugh track and shit. And then she leaves, and she goes upstairs, and then the camera angle switches and everything, and it's like she starts crying and shit.
Oh my god.
And I'm watching that, and I'm just like, that is the most pretentious, stupid shit I ever heard.
Is that a comedy? What is that?
It's like a comedy drama to where it's like the it's supposed to be more sad, I think, where you make it feel sad for the wife.
That sounds real sad.
But to me, it's like the producer of the show is describing it, and he's just like, "Oh, we're sticking up for the wife," and it's just like these are fake people. These are not real. These are actresses, okay? We're sticking up for the wife, like in King of Queens when Doug's a piece of shit, and whenever she leaves the room,
Yeah.
they're like, we don't know what she's going through because it's a fucking fake show.
Right.
It's not real. None of it's fucking real, and you're out here like that's what I'm saying. Where people are out of touch to where it's like you're out here fighting for social justice on fake TV shows.
Yeah.
And it's just like you don't even know.
And then it's like, what is that show? Who is that show for? You know,
Right.
That show was for 6 people in Queens. you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
then it gets canceled after 6 episodes.
It-
Like,
it-
what?
I-
That's what I was trying to tell a message.
Yeah, I don't think it did too well. But that's why you think Young Sheldon? Everybody watches Young Sheldon because it's like you got regular people on it.
Yeah.
That's a good show. I like Young Sheldon, dude. Me and my dad used to watch that for you.
I was gonna say what like old shows are your favorites? Because for me it's like Frasier
I love
and, like,
Frasier.
Beverly Hillbillies. That's it.
I miss Beverly Hillbillies. I didn't
Really?
I didn't catch that one.
Do you know what it's about?
Yeah, no, they strike oil. I've seen the theme song. They're like, oh, Jed down the road. Jeff.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole.
Yeah.
I had like 3 VHS tapes, and
Okay.
each VHS tape had 3 episodes on it.
Yeah.
And I would just watch those 9 episodes over and over.
Okay.
And over. So I haven't seen the whole. I've only seen those 9
That's
episodes.
how it was with Seinfeld. I had the first 5 episodes of season 2 of Seinfeld on
Okay.
DVD. I think it was with the Vandalay Industries one
Yeah.
where he comes out. There's the Chinese restaurants on there.
Classic.
The doll.
The doll. Wait. Oh, where his mom looks like a doll, or the doll looks like his mom.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like I forget. I don't remember. It's called the doll though.
Yeah.
But there's an episode on there where, Vandalay Industries, where George comes out, and Vandalay Industries, and he comes out and he's in his underwear and he falls on. I would do that around the house when I was like 3 years old. There's all kinds of pictures of me with my pants to my knees and my underwear laying on the floor doing the Vandalay Industries thing and not knowing what the hell it means. Jerry walks in 2 seconds later and because the line is he falls on the floor. Jerry walks to the apartment and goes, and you want to be my latex salesman. I don't know what the hell that means. Yeah, right, yeah. No, there's another episode. Oh my God, where fucking George... so
you like Seinfeld?
Yeah,
right?
are you a Seinfeld guy?
Oh, that's the bedrock for me.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fucking incredible.
I've seen every episode.
Do you remember
80
the
times.
episode where George invites her? George goes on a date and she goes, "Oh, you want to come up and have coffee?"
Yeah.
And then I don't want coffee now, and he drives off.
It keeps me up.
Yeah. But there's a line there where he goes back to he goes back to Jerry's apartment and he's pissed at himself for not taking her up on it. He goes, she didn't want coffee. Coffee's not coffee. Coffee is sex. I would go around for some reason that stuck with me. So like my dad would have his friends over or something. And I would just come out of my room and I'd go up to him and I'd be like, hey, coffee's not coffee. Coffee is sex. And then I'll look at my dad like, what the fuck did he just say? What the fuck is he talking about? So and
He's like, is that code for something? What is that?
I know, and it was Seinfeld's always going to be my number one just because of those early memories.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I love Cheers. I grew up in Cheers. I love that one too.
Dude, I feel like it's hard to like get people into Seinfeld now. Like
It is, and
because they're like, what is this?
I don't know why. I guess I know why because it's not like
Because we moved on. Like
Yeah.
it's influenced so many other shows.
Yeah.
And now people are like, well, we're already past that like that DNA is already there, and it's like removed now.
I think
us.
the laugh track hurts it these days because I think people prefer the Always Sunny, Modern Family kind of,
or Curb.
the
Curb
Curb.
Enthusiasm, yeah.
Curb's up there. I mean, Seinfeld and Curb might be 1 and 2. I know that's basic, but
I mean, there's a reason though.
I think shows without laugh tracks, it's just better.
Yeah,
It's just better. I think Seinfeld's funny enough to where it doesn't matter.
yeah.
But
I agree.
I think just objectively to me when I'm watching a show.
What about you ever see Larry Sanders Show? You ever seen that one?
I didn't like that one. Is
You
that the
didn't
one where he
like-
has a talk show?
Yeah.
I tried watching that. I tried getting through it the first season. I didn't like
Okay.
it too much.
Interesting.
I
okay.
think maybe it was probably more of a at the time it was probably a much bigger deal for what it was doing.
it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more subversive than
Yeah.
like I think it would care to admit. You
Right.
know, like I think that there are some.
Maybe I
bits
got to
that
give
are
it.
just a
I
little-
didn't make it past the first season, but
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I watched it when I was like working in a fucking call center at 3 a.m.
Okay.
You know, and I got nothing else to do but watch that show. You know, so I think it certainly helped me dial into it. You know.
I didn't think Gary Shandling was that like funny on it.
Okay.
I think he was kind of like I didn't like his character too much. I didn't think the characters were just kind of weird.
Yeah.
And
There's
it was definitely cool seeing like Dana Carvey go on as himself, and
Oh yeah, dude.
I think
Absolutely.
that was probably a lot of the influences where you had
You saw like a lot of killers that
Right.
like are just on that show.
right.
I saw there was one episode that what's his name? Oh shit, why can't Colin Quinn. Colin Quinn was on there and
Really?
he was playing the producer, Rip Torn.
Yep.
He was playing his son and he was like playing like a loser son.
Yeah.
And so they give him a job as a production assistant.
Okay.
And there's this scene where he's like a Brooklyn dude, like he's like a really tough, like almost like a soprano kind of guy, and he's getting everyone's frozen yogurt order, and he's like, Larry, here are the flavors, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, or as I like to call it, Queer's Delight. And Larry's like, he's like, I'll have the strawberry, thank you. and then he writes down, Larry will have quiz delight.
That's awesome.
Like, dude, the balls on him.
That's incredible,
Those
dude.
fucking balls.
Hell yeah.
So there's little moments
I'm
like
sure,
that.
yeah,
where
I'm
I'm
sure.
like,
Like I
"All
said,
right, dude,
I gotta
you
give it another chance. I'll go check it out.
But real quick before we go, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask one more thing
Yeah.
about like your background. You said you're from New York,
Yep.
half Jewish,
Yep.
half Irish Catholic.
Yeah.
How were you raised in New York, or like when did you come to Kentucky?
I was born up there. I came here. I have memories up there, but I came here when I was 2006, so I was 5, just turned 5, I think.
Okay,
Right after my
5 years
sister was born.
Was it New York, like city, or New York State?
Upstate in Albany. That's where my dad was from Long Island,
Okay.
and
Would you say you've got like a little bit of his accent, or at all?
I think so, just because I still grew up around him when he was here, and I spent a lot of time around him.
Okay.
So I think I picked up on that a little bit.
got
It's
you.
fucked because when I got here, I was still learning to talk.
Yeah.
So I had a full-on New York accent for a kid at that point.
Holy
but when I
shit.
get to preschool, everyone thought I had a speech impediment
Oh no.
because they couldn't understand what I was saying because I was real high-pitched and I would enunciate differently.
Yeah.
So, I'd be like, hey, we eating fucking graham crackers? What the fuck is this? And
You know what's funny? The opposite of that happened in my school. There was a girl, and I was like, the way she talked, I was like, "Are you from Brooklyn?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, why would you say that?" And she just had a speech
That's awesome.
impediment.
That's awesome. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
but anyway, please.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm
so
not
you
gonna-
you didn't know how to talk, and
Yeah.
Shit,
And then, this is home. Louisville's home to me, I
Yeah.
grew up here.
okay,
Went to Catholic school, Catholic high school. Really, I went to
okay.
I went
St.
to
Axe or Trinity?
I went to Holy Cross out
okay.
on Dixie.
Oh, okay.
Co-ed because I'm not gay.
Whoa.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Hey.
good for him.
Yeah. Round of applause.
Also, it's fine.
Yeah. You got the remote that Sam had on iCarly? You know iCarly?
Yo, I love iCarly. dude. I
iCarly's
grew
a
up
shit.
on
What's
that
that?
shit.
Random dancing.
Don't ask me how old I was when I stopped watching iCarly.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's still on Netflix. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Later seasons, I get into a lot more. I get into some serious shit.
Yeah, there's more feet stuff. I'm not big into that, but
No, not particularly. Especially with all the things that came to light. I didn't think much of it when I was 9.
yeah.
I just thought, toes are funny, but now it's.
I
Alright,
know.
What are you
It's
doing,
like
Dan?
he taught a whole generation to have a foot fetish.
Yeah,
That's actually pretty
no,
big impact.
I still don't, but maybe one day.
All right. Well, all right.
I'm still a younger
Speaking
guy.
for myself, I guess. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, my mom is from here, and my dad's from New York, and
Okay.
he was born on Long Island, and I don't know why I guess I got to ask him why he moved to
Yeah.
Albany. He's a character. He moved.
Is he there? Is he there now?
Yeah, he moved back about
Okay.
a few months ago. Didn't tell anybody or nothing. He
Oh,
just
wow.
fucking took off.
Okay.
My dad's a strange guy. He's a good guy, but
Okay.
he's a character.
He's just out there. He's just living the
Yeah, I think
beat to his own drum.
after him and mom got divorced, he didn't really have any friends down here after they moved down here,
Okay.
and
Makes sense.
he put a lot of effort into me and my sister.
Yeah.
But she just kind of, once she started getting older and started driving during high school, I think he kind of lost
Interest.
not interest, but I think he kind of lost more of a purpose. He didn't really know. He's like, I got nothing here for me in Louisville. I put all my time into these kids. They don't need me too much anymore.
Yeah.
And
That's what kids do.
So we didn't talk to him too much at the time. So he sends me a picture like a few months ago, probably 6-7 months ago.
Okay.
It's a picture of his dog in front of my great grandma's tombstone in New York.
Okay.
And I hadn't talked to him. It's probably a year since I talked to him. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh shit. Okay.
And we were kind of we got no falling out. We weren't really on speaking terms.
Yeah.
And he texted me that picture, and I was like, "Holy fucking dad!" I called my sister immediately. I was at the comedy club. I called my sister. I'm like, "Dude, fucking dad just texted me. Holy shit!" And we're doing this, and he's been progressively and. So I call his neighbor, his best friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have you heard from my dad? I mean, because he just sent me a picture, a weird picture. I just didn't know if you talked to him. So my neighbor says, yeah, he came by about 2 weeks ago. He dropped off some boxes to give to you and your sister. He said he was moving to New York.
What?
I'm like, when was this? Like about 2 weeks ago. I'm like, you didn't fucking tell me? He's like, yeah, I went to Florida and I didn't want to bother you. And I'm like, you back now? And he's like, yeah, you want to come over tomorrow? I'm like, I'll be over tomorrow.
What the
So
fuck?
he left a bunch of boxes and shit.
Dude's
Of like,
clearly checked out.
yeah. Oh, he's a good guy. He's my dad's best friend. I still talk to him.
Okay. All right.
We went over there.
We love him.
We
love
Glenn.
him.
We love you, Glenn. I love you,
Yeah.
Glenn, if you're listening.
That's so hopeful of you.
Oh my god. So we go over there and we pick these boxes up, and it's like a bunch of me and my sister go through them, and it's like all my dad's shit. It's like his report cards and like fucking his old like hockey jerseys from middle school.
His
or
yours?
His, and it's like a bunch of sentimental shit of his that we're going through. A bunch of like books he had when he was a kid, and like pictures of me and him and my mom when they were like 18, 19.
Whoa.
Like pictures from the wedding, shit I'd never seen before, and it's like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And
that's ominous.
yeah, it's weird. And he would send me other pics. But we recently kind of got on a kick to where I tried calling him because he had substance abuse problems for a little while.
Okay.
Throughout my childhood. That's why my parents got divorced. He
Same.
got clean in 2014.
Okay.
And he's been clean ever since. But I think he still struggles with a little bit of just mental health shit.
I get it.
And I love him and I respect him for what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he So we've been on a kick here recently where he's been texting me a little bit. He texted me this morning. He said, I think he just discovered Google because he'll be texting me and he'll be like, guess what happened today? I'm like, what do you mean? It'll be like 1971, American Pie, Don McLean just got released. I was like, that happened today? He's like, this day in history, dude. So I think he found some website where Celebrity Net Worth or like where shit happens.
He found what happened
on
today.
On my birthday, he texted me November 8th. He just texted me a screenshot. November 8th, 1972, HBO founded. That's all I got for my birthday. Was a screenshot of me and HBO having the same birthday.
He's like, what better gift could you give than quality entertainment? Home box office company.
God. He's just such a character. He texted me this morning.
Yeah.
He says, I just found out that your third favorite person after Jeff Hardy and Willie Nelson, Jerry Seinfeld, is a billionaire. Just think, if you do 3 or 4 more shows, you can be on his level. And so I texted back, and I was like, he's actually Jerry was my second favorite after the United Healthcare CEO, but now after recent events, Jerry's back to number 1. So my dad's he's a fucking socialist and shit. He's like a crazy political guy kind of.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, if you wanted to be like that guy, all you had to do was be like, I'm gonna read the text. I'm gonna grab my phone real quick. I'm gonna read what he said. I'm gonna read what he said to me.
Yeah. Hey, very excited to hear what the socialist has to say. I'm all here for prevailing opinions.
Yeah. I'm getting personal, but whatever.
Dude, that's what it is, man.
Yeah, my dad. It's the talk zone. He said, "Forget." All right, so he said,
"I'm already looking." He's already sent you a fucking book. I'm terrified.
All right, so Jerry Seinfeld's 1.1 billion. I figure after you headline a couple more shows, you can pass him. So my first favorite was the United Healthcare CEO. After recent events, Jerry's moved up, but I'll probably need a TV show in the Upper West Side if I want to make that kind of money. So here's what my dad says.
Okay.
Forget the TV show. Due to your statement about a recent event, there should be a job opening. However, the qualifications are to be a selfish, disrespectful, money-hungry piece of shit who believes they're better than everybody else because they have more things than most. So you may not qualify, but some of your family members sure do. That's what he's... and that's it fucking... That's before noon.
Wow.
I mean, he sends me fucking...
So, do you have family members in healthcare? Or
no, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He just hates my mom.
Industry?
My mom is in sales, and she owns a fucking 3-bedroom condo. Fucking, he just hates it. He's just.
That's one of those, things where you're like using that. That's why I hate Thanksgiving, is because it's like using like politics as a mask for like the emotional shit that you haven't resolved
he's the
yet.
only political guy really in my family on both sides.
Okay.
He doesn't.
I was kind of curious if you ever do like political stuff or.
He's not political in the sense that like he follows it. He just hates everybody, and he just hates. He's just a self-hating Jew, and he just fucking hates the entire world. And he just my entire life. I'm moving to Alaska. Fucking next week I can't fucking wait. And once I get my check, I'm going to Alaska. I'm like, well, I fucking hate everybody. Don't want to deal with nobody up there. And he just hates everybody. I mean, he's just. I'm incriminating him here, but when the Black Lives Matter shit started, he's like, oh, people think their lives matter. Nobody's life fucking matter. My life doesn't matter. Nobody's life fucking matter. And he's saying this in Kroger. I'm like, chill out, bro. I'm like,
dude, we're by the freezer section.
Yeah, chill out, dude.
Well, I hope you have some material about this because this is good shit.
Can I read one more he sends to me?
Yeah, please. Absolutely.
So he says, and this is November 18th after the election, he says, Vance seems like a great pick to lead this country as your boy will probably suffer cardiac arrest during another porn star adulterated escapade. And I go, hey, we've all been there. And he says, your sister has bigger balls than anybody associated with Trump. And then he's talking about Matt Gaetz. Do you follow politics at all?
A little bit.
He says, the thing with Matt Gaetz.
Oh, yeah.
So he says, if Matt Gaetz gets AG, it'll be minors and blow for all. God bless the USA. Oh my God, damn, dude.
I tell you what, if that's taught us anything, it's that the 80s are back.
The 80s are fucking so bad,
It's
dude.
80s part
We
2
got,
out there.
yeah, dude. What else going on in the 80s shit? We got fucking conflict in the Middle East. We hate
Yep.
Russia. Donald
Yep.
Trump is the most famous guy on earth.
Russia's the bad guy
Russia's
again.
the bad guy again, dude. Holy
Dude,
shit.
that's 5 minutes right there.
Yeah, we'll figure something out with that. I try not to get too, but I get to. I try to do one joke, so this girl I'm talking to now,
Okay.
she,
I was going to ask, are you seeing anybody? Or-
yeah. But,
now that you brought it up, I'm
Yeah.
going to say that I was going to ask.
yeah. But, you know, we're hanging out. We're
Okay.
having fun. You know, everything's-
Wasn't the keys in the casino?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love her.
Yeah. No, you know,
We're big fans.
sure. I found it was a dude, whatever.
Huh?
Well, it was somebody. I was talking to somebody.
Okay, we're talking about
You know, they're big on the they don't like Israel. You know.
Okay.
I respect everybody's opinions. You know.
People
So,
have opinions. I get it.
Starbucks, I guess, is anti-Israel, or they're pro-Israel. Starbucks is
Yeah,
pro-Israel.
they were pro-Israel.
Pro-
yeah,
they
we
donated
were,
money to
we were
Israel.
boycotting for a while.
Donated
yeah.
money to Israel.
Yeah.
She didn't want to go. We're
Yeah.
down on U of L's campus. She doesn't want to go there.
Yeah.
And she says, I don't want to go anywhere that supports Israel. I said, all right, whatever. Where do you want to go? And she says, what about Einstein bagels? I say, I don't know if you could pick up some context clues, but Einstein bagels sounds pretty Israel. See, nobody would get it, though. See, I try to do political
Yeah.
shit like that and talk about, but it always seems too opinionated and too fucking
It's hard.
serious. It's tough. Yeah, I try to, and it's, you don't want to do.
I'm
But-
looking at like headlines. I'm like, what can I make fun of? You
Right.
know, and it's like child was abducted, was released from a Syrian prison in Assad
Yeah.
after Assad regime. Like what?
Here's some.
How do I make a joke of that?
Here's something I'm working on. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try this tonight as my first. With me and Adam are doing a joke off tonight.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know if we'll go be able to go against each other, but
I hope so.
the format is put two comedians up against
So I
each
can sit
other,
down.
to each tell one joke, and we'll see who's a better joke. Who's a better
Yeah,
joker?
it's 1 minute of jokes.
1 minute. You get 1 minute.
Yeah.
Well, I think you just get one joke.
Well, I asked
you have,
about
you
it
have
in the
1
chat
minute. You have 1
today.
minute to tell one joke.
Yeah. It's got to be about the same subject, but you can like
Right.
riff on
Yeah,
it for
yeah,
a minute. Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. Here's some. You watch. I know you don't watch sports, but everything is sponsored.
Okay.
In the NBA. Everything
Yeah.
is sponsored. So you watch the Kia halftime report.
Yeah.
Or when a coach is challenging a call, when
Yeah.
they don't think it's called the Sprite Coaches Challenge.
Okay.
Everything's sponsored, dude. And they're doing it everywhere. Like I'm watching football this morning, and they have the H&R Block domestic dispute report. It's crazy. And then I turn on hockey, and the entire thing, it looks like it's sponsored by this is a heady one.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement.
Who was it?
Immigrations and Customs Enforcement.
No, was
The
what was
NHL
it?
hockey.
NHL?
Yeah.
Was there like a
Do you know what that stands for?
hockey?
No, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement.
Oh, it's ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad that you told that one here.
Right. I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. Don't publish this till after the show.
Oh no, it will be after the show actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll since you did one, I'll do one.
Dude, yeah.
I was thinking about actually I did I think you saw a story post of it a couple days ago. I have this well, I think the way I'm going to introduce is like, life's hard, try to do things to keep it fun out there. So whenever I'm out and about and I see a brand or service with Shaq's face on it, I make a note of it. Like it's just to know what all Shaq's into.
Yeah.
And he's in a lot of shit. I got these fucking gummies of his, like Shaq gummies.
Uh-huh.
They're fucking the size of my car. They're gigantic. I'm just like, oh, fucking. It's like 6 million calories. Like, oh my God, it's so fucking good.
Hey,
And,
weed gummies are
No, they're not weed. Just regular. No,
gummies?
just good old
Okay.
corn
Just
syrup.
gummies. Okay.
And he's selling fucking printers, you
Yeah.
know, but it's like Shaq size.
Yeah.
So it's like, the letter font is like 1 letter per page.
Okay. All
Because
right.
it's huge. Everything's huge.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta think about that one more.
No, you just gotta think of something outrageous. We got like I don't know what's something big.
Hmm?
I don't know. We can work on that later.
Yeah, we'll
We'll workshop
that one.
it.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. See, when I first started getting ready for it, I thought it was going to be like one-liners. So like,
it's a weird concept. It's a strange kind of endeavor.
It's more like clips of stand-up.
I did it last year and it was pretty fun. I
Okay.
lost the first round to Kyle Stolte.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that guy.
that guy. We ain't doing a whole nother show about him.
I saw him close the show, and I was like, damn, you really had sex with that mic stand for 15 minutes.
Talk about sticking to the bit. Talk about fucking believing in your joke. Holy shit.
Dude, I love him.
I love him too.
He's fucking great.
He's a sweet little boy.
All right, man. Well, I think we're gonna get out of here.
Let's do it, man. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, thanks for letting me rant, dude. I'm sorry if I got
dude,
all crazy. We went
no,
it's a good time. We made a good time.
This is one of the best episodes we've ever done. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's absolutely true.
How bad were the other episodes?
Oh, you should hear some of the solo ones where I'm just trying to riff for an hour.
You seem like you're good at that, though.
It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
I started admitting shit I shouldn't be admitting
I wish
to.
something I got to work on is once I get talking comedy, I get too down the rabbit hole with that.
Yeah.
And I want to like be able to talk about other shit. So,
I know it's hard, right? Because like, you know, I get these comics on. I'm like, all I want to do is talk about comedy.
I know. And it's so easy to talk about.
Yeah.
Especially with you because you get it. You know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And
Just trying to be funny.
yeah.
This is the way I look at this is for us.
This for
Yeah.
for me.
If anyone else wants to listen, you know, you're more than welcome. But yeah,
I hope they listen. If you're listening, man, thank you guys. It was I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Adam.
yeah, of course, man.
Man, this is cool. We gotta run this back sometime.
Come back anytime.
Thank you, brother.
And you guys take it easy.
Say, hey, stay warm and be cool.
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's what I say sometimes.
Hot eats, cool treats. We'll treat you right.
Yeah, we'll change it.
All right, see you guys.
Later.